I'm proud of everything because everything always leads to something. And I think the thing that informs my work is my life, my meditation practice, like being aware, looking, observing, being in the world with my mind. I'm Juliet Ellis. I'm in the process of making a Symphony of Flesh and Bones for MIF 2025. One of the things that I talk about is the failure of film is to see beyond the frame. And I think it's the same thing with our own perspective. We're unable to see outside of our own framework. Let's look at that. Let's inquire together. So in the piece, I ask a lot of questions because I think they're really important questions that I ask myself. I didn't create it to teach you or something or for you. Like I did it for me. And then I want to share those questions or that inquiry with other people. I want to interrogate my biases, my mind when it becomes unbalanced in a certain view. I think it is the responsibility of an artist to interrogate things that can be deconstructed, because actually nothing's actually real. I feel like the work emerges from the moments that I'm living. I am interested in deconstructing all the things that I thought were real, what I believed, and how it's all a construction. The self is a construction. I feel like I'm trying to use two people as a gateway into understanding like the landscape of being human. I was interested in my father and my brother because like my dad's a world champion bodybuilder. He's used his body to facilitate his journey through this life. And so has my brother. They've both used their bodies to navigate some survival techniques. And I was interested in like that construction of a self. On what are the implications of when we construct a self? What does that mean? Because we're all doing it. We've all constructed a self. Is it even real? I suppose this piece is like a philosophical or a spiritual inquiry into that construction. You have a sense of self, don't you? There's a sense of self. But if I said to you, well, where is it? Or what is it? Like, what would your answer be? And I think that that construction of self is being built into our consciousness. It's being built into our framework of how we relate to other people and how things appear. We think that's how they exist, but do they? What is the nature of our reality? And so that's a big question when I embark on a piece of work. It's looking deeper than the appearance of something. And let's see if we can remove some of those constructions so that we're able to see each other. But what I loved is that I wanted to create this environment that felt it wasn't solid. It was almost like it's appearing from your mind and then it dissolves back into the mind. But it's not solid and concrete because nothing is. I like to feel like the piece is being created like moment by moment through whatever I am experiencing in that moment. Like when I look at my father and I look at my brother in this piece, they bring so much layers, complexity. And what I love is that there's no expectation. They're not doing it for the next job. They literally are themselves in that frame. They have no idea of the impact of what their image does. And I love that. There's no other payoff that they want. So there's an authenticity and an honesty in that frame. That to me is something quite priceless. Using the camera as a tool to investigate. It's an interrogation tool, but it's only an extension of the mind. I have got to bring everything that all my experiences, the way I see the world, into a piece. That's what's going to make it mine. Like, it's very nuanced. Everything's like very complex. And sometimes I think when we talk about stuff, we try to dilute it down into the answer. But actually it's just very, I think that's what I'm trying to capture in a symphony of flesh and bones. Like, it's complicated. Sometimes I think it's really even hard to talk about what the work is, because sometimes it's about a moment by moment discovery in that room. I think my strength as an artist is creating environments where they have a certain tone, or like creating a world. That's why I really love David Lynch growing up, because even though I may not have understood the content of his work, I knew I was entering a world. You know, you've entered a room and people have had an argument. And when the argument has stopped, when you enter the room, you can still sense something. So how do you capture that on film? How do you create attention? I think that's what I'm interested in, is creating these worlds for people to enter and hopefully reflecting their own minds back at them, and they're a different person from when they entered the space to when they leave.